Hey, Natsu here. Today I'm going to do part 9 of my What If Deku Had the Omnitrix. In the last part, he saved Eri before Chisaki could take her back. Um, so they basically brought her back and they were talking about the raid. And they decided to send Izuku in while they start talking to the well, when they brought the what is it called? The thing that they bring you to say it will search your house. You have to let us do it. Warrant or something like that. Well, basically, they're going to go talk to them about that, and during that time, Deku has to, well, basically is going to go in Ghost Freak form or Big Chill form and go scan the entire place. And if he is able to freeze the people that are basically there. So when they arrive there, Aizawa is at UA with Eri. Izuku transforms into Big Chill and basically starts going underground. And he starts moving around everything. When he finds someone, he basically freezes them. Like, over time, he froze a lot of people while outside the battle started. And at some point, he finds Toga and, I just have Dabi, but no, it's not him. It's, I can never remember his freaking name and I don't know why. Well, the guy that clones things, people, they basically were found by Izuku, and he basically froze them as well. He froze the guy first, so Toga basically saw the Bugman freezing him and started screaming. And she got frozen right after that. Then he just continued until he found Chisaki and he went to try and froze him. But since in that form he can be seen, she saw him and tried to attack him. Izuku made some eyes. Chisaki basically touched it and made it go against Izuku, which didn't really work. Then Izuku basically detransformed with Chisaki basically telling him, so you came back and trying to attack him again. He went into Goop and basically started breaking everything around him. During that time, the heroes were basically passing through. The police was basically breaking the ice under everyone and bringing them in while they were still frozen. And so they basically just grabbed everyone that Izuku froze every time they saw someone that wasn't frozen, they basically started attacking. And the moment they got to where Izuku and Chisaki were, basically what they saw was Chisaki stuck in a block of ice with his hand outside of it, basically unable to touch the ice. So he cannot change it. And Izuku's basically waiting next to him. Basically, what happened was that Izuku transformed into goop, destroyed practically everything he could from around Chisaki, so that he would be forced to actually use his quirk to move. And the moment he did that, he transformed back into Big Chill and froze him everything except his hand. So, yeah. The heroes basically take him, bring him away. They found they found the blocks of ice where Toga and Twice are supposed to be, without finding them in it. So what happened was basically another villain from the mafia that basically found them and melted the ice to know what was happening. Twice saw him. When the guy wanted to leave them there, he made a clone of that guy and then melted the rest of the ice and left. So they don't have the bullets. League of Villain, I mean, don't have the bullets. Um, Deku was tasked to bring every one of them to different prison to make sure they weren't going to be problems. So he basically transformed into Accelerate and was grabbing them and taking them away. And since he can move fast, well, there's no way really to stop him, because Accelerate can literally run on walls if he goes fast enough. So unless you're able to make a bubble around him, you don't really stop him. So, yeah. Basically, that didn't really do anything. And later, before, when everyone kind of got back together to talk about what happened, they basically started talking to Izuku about his transformation, asking him how he truly unlocked them, because if he's able to have that much and that he can still have more, they want to try and help him to get as much as possible. Which he basically explained that, well, every time he's in danger, he gets a new transformation, or once he doesn't know how, well, or over time, or when he's in danger. But once, for some reason, someone passed next to him, which was the time the tiger guy, when he went to, well, after the sports festival in the agency where he went, the tiger guy that got blood on the omnitrix. He doesn't know there was blood on it, but he just said that the tiger guy was close to him and he unlocked that transformation at some point. So they basically started thinking, okay, if being close with people that had that are a specific way would unlock them, you would probably have every quirk in your class or form of transformation that have that. So, um, Nara basically looks at Deku in the way to activate his quirk, and then he says, "Okay, I want you to try and get new transformations." Which Night Eye basically see what he's doing and says that won't work. Then Izuku's, while thinking, basically thinks, "Wait, I want to check something." So basically, he transforms. He asks someone to take a blood sample and see if the DNA is the same. They scan it, they do stuff over. I don't know how long it takes, but when it's over, they basically say that his DNA changed when he transforms. And so he basically thinks, okay, so DNA might be a way to actually unlock it. And so he asked for or blood sample or other things that he could put on the watch or something. So let's say Tsuyu um, cuts a bit herself a bit and places like on her hand or finger or something and places her the cuts on the omnitrix and it literally says new transformation unlock. Um, and then the species of bullfrog, which are the I can't remember. Basically, they're frogs, and so yeah. So sorry about that. Um, okay. After that happened, he basically transformed into it, and he basically looked a bit like he looked exactly like Ben's one, and so they basically say so. With blood, you can also unlock new transformations. They don't look the same as people, but they do have the same kind of powers. A frog. So basically, multiple heroes decide to try it and give him blood. I'm not going to say that all of them were able to do it, but let's say, well, no, let's say only three decided to give him blood to do stuff. Ochako, which gave him Gravitack, which is basically, I think, as big as Humongousaur. Is made of rocks that are that are extremely strong and controls gravity. Um, Second one, let's say it's a hero that has magnetic abilities, and he unlocks All Star, which I don't freaking know the name of the species. All I know is that he has a head made of metal and a body made of some type of crystal that no matter how bad he gets damaged, his body just kind of gets magneted back together, and he can control every type of metal that has a magnetic field. Um, so like gold, he can't do anything against that. Plastic, well, it's not a metal, and you get the point. And the last one will be um hmm okay. uh, let's say in the last one he unlocked was basically another hero that could use electricity, and he unlocked Frankenstrike. This is an alien that is um, basically a monster like Frankenstein, but that can control, create, and absorb electricity. So yeah, those are four new transformation. And after all of that happened, they basically went back to school. Um, there, they basically were with Eri for a good amount of time because, well, they stayed close to. Aizawa stayed close to her. Mm, they found out what her quirk was at some point because it actually activated and it didn't harm anything except someone. And what it did to the person was just basically rewind him, like, let's say he was hurt, and it basically rewinded him to a point of it not being hurt. They thought she had a healing quirk, but Izuku knew better and said if it was just a healing quirk, Chisaki would not have kept her locked up like that. So he asked Aizawa if he could take the day out of school and go somewhere. Aizawa knew what he wanted to do, which was basically talk with Chisaki. He told him to come back quick, and he basically left. When he got to the prison, he basically started entering. They asked him what he wanted, and he told them that he came to see Chisaki because something didn't add up and he needed to have answers. So they basically made all of the arrangement on the spot to make him go see him. When Izuku arrived in, Chisaki saw him and said, "So, what do you want? Did the girl kill someone yet?" Which Izuku said, "No. But what I want to know is what is her quirk." Chisaki looked at him and said, "So you want to go straight to the point? Hmm? Her quirk is called Rewind. And if it activates around someone, it will rewind his body to the point of not existence." Which, after hearing that, Deku basically just thought, so she rewinds a living being, and he says no, only humans. And if her power was used right, you could erase a quirk, or send someone back to when they were just a monkey. And Izuku, hearing that, was basically like, so she rewinds? She rewinds people and DNA. That's interesting. And so he decided to leave. Chisaki said, so that's all you wanted to know? Then Izuku turned back and said, oh yeah, the old man that was in the let's say he said the infirmary or something. You're the reason he is in a coma, right? Which Chisaki basically says yes. And Izuku leaves, transforming back into Accelerate and going back to school. So he tells it to the teachers, Nezu, and everyone else, as well as heroes, not to the other students. and basically tells them what her quirk is, and they're like, so basically her quirk cannot be trained as easily as everyone else, because if she goes too far, they're done for. With Izuku basically saying, yeah. So that's going to be hard to do. So after that happened, um, they basically started the preparation. Well, later they started the preparations for the festival. This time, Izuku didn't go out to buy anything. La Brava and Gentle Criminal tried to come in, but were arrested by the heroes. Basically, because, well, what do you want? They even said that, well, the program La Brava did wasn't strong enough to harm UA's system. Because it was too far, and that they got separated, and that about the time that they got there, the heroes were already closing in on them, so they had to leave. But they weren't able to, so yeah, they got captured. They're not going to be out. Their show, music, and dance are basically the same, with Izuku not transforming into anything except Quad to make it easier to bring Aoyama. And that's basically that. The rest of the festival happens exactly the same. And yeah. So just like for my Immortal Demon Fairy Deku, I will have to wait to continue the story for about 2 or 3 weeks because I need more material, and that I will not read the manga. Reason is that I kind of have trouble doing that on my phone. As well, someone asked me to try and get a better mic, but I can't. The reason is that everything I am filming, or recording I should say, is on my phone. I always have my, um, well, headphones plugged in to make it so that I don't hear people around me talking low. Because I have an extremely good hearing, better than the mic on my phone. So I can hear people talking while you won't. So if there are big sound around me, I'll hear. Because of my headphones, I might not hear them as well. So I am sorry about that. And so, yeah. To replace this series and my Immortal Demon Fairy Deku, I already started 2 new ones. The first one is what if Deku had the power of a Lantern Corp, evil version. Whoop, it's like, sorry about that. My phone just fell. So yeah, like I was saying, what if Deku had a Lantern Corp's power, evil version, and my what if Luffy was a half Saiyan? So hope you liked it. I know that it's short, but there's literally nothing I can do for that. Natsu out.